Good morning, everyone.
Hi all, good morning.
Morning.
How's it going?
What's happening?
With all the activity over the weekend, we didn't really test the builds as much as I wanted to. I tested a lot on Friday, but we have two, Android and iOS builds production ready. In fact, Danny, I did test a lot on Friday. I think Todd, you did too, and Chantel.
Yeah.
A good amount. Any major issues?
No, I don't remember any big issues.
No, we had. Wait, let me think about this. Chantel, weren't we having an issue with?
Oh yeah, the only issue that we had was you couldn't make an event if it had a profile picture thing.
Right.
An event or custom topic?
Custom topic, sorry.
Okay. Actually, there was a couple things around the custom topics. Now that I remember. Well, I was going to suggest we push it to the App Store, but I think we should do some more testing. So did you already submit a ticket for it or for that image issue?
I don't know if I put in a ticket for it.
I don't know
can.
either. Let me check Trello and find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made a comment in the dev chat about not being able to open up websites, but Todd said he was able to. I don't know, maybe that was just an iOS issue.
Interesting.
I saw this. If I go on a profile, let's see.
Like the reward store, that kind of website, or just like a...
No, if I went to a business card, it's actually working now though.
Yeah, if you go to like Butcher and Barrel and you go to their website, I'm able to access it.
Which one of our most recent builds is pointing to production?
The most recent one.
14?
Yeah. Yeah, I had Tori add a custom topic on my phone. I remember now on Friday. We just had so much going on the last 3 days. I forgot to revisit it. But I saw her struggling with it.
I haven't touched it yet, so everything I do is going to be first impression. Do you want me to wait until I see you?
No. Let's go ahead and do it. I'll delete the app from the App Store and just go with the newest one because it is pointing to production. But actually, before I do that, why don't you create a custom topic? I'd like to see what it looks like with the backwards compatibility on my version, that's in the App Store. What does a custom topic look like?
Okay.
And then Wells has something he's looking into. He just said he'll be right back. But there was no search results when you add a friend to share with. So those are some key bugs we need to work out. Let's get started though. Amit, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, John. So like we discussed on Friday, I was working on fixing invalid business, not invalid business which are temporarily closed, the business hour. So that part I covered and created pull request. Jerry reviewed it, but he commented one part. So Jerry, I again created the pull request for it.
You said you didn't, or you updated it?
I updated that
Okay.
pull request.
Yeah. Let me check this real quick. So for let me look at the first one for check every month.
Yes, first one. Yeah. Check it.
Oh, were you gonna add? I was suggesting we try to search the place on Google,
No,
unverified.
So this one was the another fix, no? Like we have the spreadsheet. That was another fix, correct?
Yeah. I also think that we should do this as part of the process, while we search, rather than having to continually run a script every month. I think we could also do it whenever we search, because like that sushi place I sent you, if we searched, we'd find it, and then we can update the Google ID for it.
So here also inside the profile call also we'll do same thing.
Right. So if it says not found, then we
Mhm.
try to find it in Google search. But if we don't see anything with that address and that name, then we
Okay.
put unverified.
So so I will add. I was thinking we will put it in the separate script part there. So I will add it here also.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, second part, John, I work on I have created one script which will find which business has been closed. So I created that script. I run the script. I found 913 business has been closed using that Google ID.
Okay, I see.
So I'm pinging that seat inside development channel.
Okay, thanks. If we were Jerry, if we were to delete those from the database, what kind of problems maybe could there be?
Well, here's what we ran into, and this is what Amit has to check. Is there, for example, one of the items on his list is a sushi place that I can still find on Google. It's just that the Google ID we have for it is not correct. So if we went and we marked that business as closed or deleted it, that's not accurate. It's still open. It's still in business.
Well, we're supposed to be there's supposed to be a way to update the Google ID, right? Because they change the Google IDs, they expire them after a while.
Are we doing that a bit?
Sorry, say it again. Sorry, I was selecting the file. Can you please say it again?
Updating expired Google IDs.
So, in the current approach, we will do it like what I will do if we will not find a business, like Jerry suggested, we will search using address and the business name. If we will find it, then we will update the Google ID. If we will not find it, then in that case, I will again send you the list, which I did not find.
When will we do this search using the address?
Currently, when we see we have the Google ID in the database, using that Google ID, we will call the Google API. If we will not get result using that ID, in that case, we will go and do a search using place name and address.
Okay. What is that going to do?
So that will using that place name and address. If we find the Google ID, it will update and we will get the Google place details.
It will.
Yes.
We
Okay.
tested that. That seems like it'd be tricky to get right.
But Jerry, this is also not now. Like suppose we will get using that place and address. Suppose we will get 3 businesses, 4 businesses. What we will do more than one in that case?
That same address?
Yes.
And they're all valid place IDs?
Might be. So then this will be the case now. Suppose I search it and we'll get
them. They all have the same address and they have 3 different Google IDs.
He's saying hypothetically, what would we do?
Yes.
But I don't think that will happen.
Right.
That's really common, actually. Very common.
You think the same address to the? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like the duplicate?
Like a good example is this place I just dropped my car off last week.
Yeah.
The address that they had was the same as the address of a bar that was in the same building as them because there's no suite numbers on the buildings.
So it's missing the suite number.
Yeah, they just didn't list it on Google. Neither did the bar. So it's just the key of the building was the same, and that's actually pretty common. I've seen that a lot, especially in high-rise buildings. You'll see stacked addresses, and then some of them just miss the suite number. So they use the main address for the building itself, and the people who created the business profile never put their suite number in there.
Well,
Yeah.
Fire Up and Tech to You are just like that too.
Right. Also, I was just doing a quick Google on this. I wasn't under the impression that Google IDs ever change, and from what I can quickly tell, they don't. The only reason that they would change is if the business became deactivated.
Huh, I don't know where I got that info. I thought Eric.
One of our guys told us that they were changing.
Yeah, but they expire them routinely.
Yeah.
That could be something that I can't find evidence of, but in a quick search, I was under the impression that they never changed because I made code in Tech to You like 6 years ago for our core system that relies on Google Place ID, IDs not changing, and it has never broken.
Well, I definitely didn't corroborate that information. Like I can't say for certain it's true. Like Danny said, one of our engineers said it, and we just accepted that. But I wonder why he would have thought that.
I mean, yeah, I'm wondering if there is some validity to that statement. I don't see anything. I mean, even ChatGPT quick research on this, it says basically only if it becomes invalid, like if the business is inactive for 2 years, that's their only automated way of managing changes to place IDs.
I
Okay.
feel like we had a problem that triggered the original investigation, right?
Yeah, but maybe whoever did the investigation maybe just confused themselves. You know?
But if the business moves, then they will change. They could potentially change the place ID. And there's a little note here. ChatGPT says, consequently, Google recommends refreshing stored place IDs if they are more than 12 months old to ensure validity.
Maybe that's where they confuse themselves. So if the business moves, there'll be a new Google Place ID. Which
It
makes
could.
sense.
It doesn't necessarily even trigger it. It depends on other factors, it looks like.
Okay.
Like actually,
we should be able to account for that. Like if a business moves.
right. We actually, I did verify this a while back when we moved from Santa Clara to Douglas Boulevard. Our place ID did not change.
Interesting. Okay. But sometimes it will. So I suppose if you move like really far, maybe.
Right. Or maybe if the phone number changed too, or other factors on the business, maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're using, is they're like, okay, this is a completely different location, not just a move.
Yeah, I maybe moved, but didn't like subscribe for months or
Right.
something like that too.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay, so Ahmed, we got to handle all this stuff. What do you recommend?
So what we will do in that case? One thing like, Jerry, what do you thought?
I think we should just take the first. We take the first response. You're saying if we find multiple like Google places?
So like search will return might be the possible chance it will return more than.
Do we have? Does that return have like an updated date? Like, do we have an updated date there? We can maybe take the newest one.
Let me check. Let's see. I need to go to search API. Place search. Search and this text search. I need to give me some time. I will set it up that API.
Okay. Ian, did you have any ideas on this?
You mean on like what automatic actions we should take to prevent this kind of problem?
Yeah,
About
sounds like
business ID changing. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big call, I would think, because if we did something like a nightly check or even a monthly check to see if a place ID is still accurate or valid, we would have to check it against everything in our database, which is a pretty substantial number of entries. I guess the most frequent or the easiest thing to do might be if a business shows up in a result of some kind. God, this is not really easy either. We basically could do a periodic double check on the place ID to see if it's valid still. Maybe once you load the card might be the easiest. Like when we actually load the card, we hit the Google API real quick to double check that the place ID is still valid and that they didn't close. Because I think that's our only issue. Okay, what was the example that was given? There was an example about a sushi place that closed, right?
Well, they didn't close. It's that their Google ID, their place ID is no longer valid.
What do we know why?
I think I think it just wasn't renewed. Like we didn't refresh the listing.
But if
But
Ian's
why did they change?
yeah,
Right.
that's
Why did it change in the first place? You know, can you send me that actual business? Because maybe I can find an answer. Maybe they moved.
Let me get it.
In development channel, that
Yeah.
list logo last one.
What's in the development chat? Okay.
Yeah, Umi Sushi.
Let's take a look. Modesto. Who discovered this?
Amit ran a script and he went and checked all of the place IDs we haven't stored in Google, and these are the ones that said that they were not found.
I see. How long did it take to run that script?
So it took on my local 20 minutes. 20 minutes, yes, for like 22K businesses.
That's not too bad. I mean, if we did that server side as like even if it was just a weekly check, you know, there's not that many results. We could throw these into a front end with some notices that like, hey, new businesses were found with mismatched place IDs to go under a review for a developer. We have stuff like that for like weekly tasks that I deal with that we just build in cron jobs to run a script, and then it sends an email notification to the proper managers to review something that might just need a manual review. Because if we don't know the reason why their ID changed, maybe it changed because they finally registered their business with Google and started paying for ads. Maybe they moved. I don't know that I'll find a clear answer on the reason why it happened, but we know that if it does happen, which is not common considering the low amount of results that you received, that it's not very hard for us to fix them.
yeah. What I don't want to is I don't want to have like multiple API calls to Google because that costs money. So there's whatever we do, we just can't. That has to be considered.
Of course. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm thinking I wouldn't want to run it nightly necessarily. That's why I was also suggesting that once you actually click on the card, we run a call, but then we're checking every card every time it's opened, which is expensive. So if it was weekly, that might be an option. I mean, 22,000 businesses is one thing. That's already a lot, but it's going to continue to go up as we populate our database more. There's not really a cheap automatic way that I can think of to do this. When you ran that check and you said how many results came back with the problem?
913.
900. Never mind, that is a lot. I thought it was a lot less. I suppose what we could do is we could run a script like you suggested, looking for that business at the same address to see if there's just an updated ID. And then if we received what we would consider a valid response and we update it, then that's it. We leave it at that. But if we can't find a valid response, it would be interesting to know how many results are left. Like if you ran a script to try to automatically fix them all, and then you were left with, let's say, 10, well, that's really reasonable for us to go in and do some adjustments. Also, another quick question: when's the last time we performed this action to double check? Is this the first time we've ever done this?
Yes.
So first time we've ever done this, we've got 900 results after years of data has been added to the system.
So what I did now inside that query, I just checked which business that has been expired.
Okay. I mean, we could probably keep the cost down by maybe running this monthly, but we should start by first. If you're working on a script right now to try to automatically update them, I think we start with that, run the script, see what it can automatically fix. And then once we know how many are left that we couldn't automatically update, I think that's going to reveal what we have to do next. Because if you're only left with a handful, we could research those manually once a month and update them as necessary. But if we're left with still like 700, that's a problem. We're gonna have to figure out another path. Amit, how far are you away from completing the script to try to check the address and look for an updated ID?
Okay. I'm doing that part.
Okay. Well, I think we start from there, John, and see what his results get, and then we continue from there and figure out how to proceed.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Amit, what other information?
So
do you
yeah, that part I worked mostly today.
have? Say that again.
I work on this part only,
Okay.
like fixing this thing and creating a script, running that script.
Okay.
And background, I'm also fixing this just test cases. I created 2 weeks earlier, so I just migrated to the current branch and I'm fixing. I'm getting some errors, so I'm fixing that things also.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thanks. So, Danny, I got the custom topic you created.
Yeah.
On the surface, looks good.
What was the problem Tori had? Because it worked really well for me.
Huh. I was watching her doing it, and we were in the meeting, so I was listening to the people in the room, but watching her at the same time. So it's hard for me to remember clearly, but I remember that it just, I don't know. There was odd things, like there was an avatar where there should be an image, like for an icon, and I feel like it didn't even like create the custom topic.
It definitely didn't move it to the front of the topics, but that happens sometimes.
Yeah. What happens when you tap on it? For me, I'm just getting a heart loader.
Navigate.
That should be disabled, huh? Because there's nothing to tap to.
Wait, what do you? Oh, when you tap on it after you're already in it.
Yeah.
I don't get a heart loader. It just blinks.
On the icon, it blinks. On the image itself,
Nothing.
heart loader.
You get a heart loader?
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, I'm in the version before your version.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, nothing happens. It's just nothing.
Hey, Ismail, when it comes to these custom topics and some backwards compatibility, is there anything we could do about if I tap on the custom topic, it's just giving me a heart loader? Are we kind of stuck with that?
If you tap on the custom mode, yeah, that would be for older versions. Yeah, I would do that. But for newer ones, I fixed that, so you won't see that.
Okay, yeah, because Danny didn't see it. Okay. Okay. Everything worked good, Danny?
I mean, yeah, it was really smooth.
Okay, hold on one second. I want to ask Tori one second.
Danny, are you having the same problem with adding a pic to a custom topic
I haven't added the pick yet.
when creating it? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't add a picture. I just added a name. So let me try that.
Like
She's saying it didn't let her put in information.
it gave me one screen and then boom, it was done.
Yeah. Okay,
Is
show
this-
me.
Is this the right version?
Yeah. No, that's on my other phone. Let me grab it. What were you saying, Danny?
I'm adding a photo and creating one. That worked fine too.
Okay. Yeah, here, this is the phone you use, and this is in the test. Actually, I thought it was in the test environment. It's not in the test environment.
Picture work for you, Danny?
But you made it right
Yeah,
here.
it did say shared a place with John Worthington, which was interesting on the card.
And the picture stayed in the topic?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
What are you asking, Todd?
That custom topic, when creating one and then adding a picture to it, Chantel and I are both having a problem creating custom topics with an image attached to it, both
Okay.
on iOS and Android.
Did you try adding an image, Tori, yesterday, Friday?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think I saw Tori have a problem with it too. And Ismail, this is minor, but I have a mismatched background color with a custom topic. I just sent you a screenshot of it. I'm not sure how that happens. That's not a major problem, but take a look at that. So what happens when you try and add the image? Todd?
On Android, when you create a custom topic, give it a name, and then add the photo, and once you choose the photo, it gives you the preview screen, of the topic before you hit send, right? But as soon as I hit send on Android, I just get a spinny loader thing, and it just freezes, and I can't do anything from there.
Okay. Why don't you do a screen record and send that to Ismail?
Okay. iOS is a little different. When I do the same thing with iOS, it allows me to compose it the same way as Android. And when I hit send, the topic gets created, but the image didn't go through. So there's no image associated with it, but the custom topic is there. I'll send that too.
Okay. Ismail, was all that working for you?
So one is the uploading an image, and then the other one, what was the other one? The other problem?
I think they were both uploading image, right, Todd? But one was a little different on iOS.
Yeah, one
versus...
right. The creating custom topic with pick ultimately doesn't work on Android and iOS, but with slightly variations of how it doesn't work.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure I addressed that problem. And this is on the latest build.
Version 14.
Okay. Is that the one that's the one that's latest on test flight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had it working. I'm not sure. Maybe I have it in a different branch that was not part of that build. Let me look into it, but I'm pretty sure I addressed it. This flight is not working for me right now.
It's interesting. Danny says it works for him, no problem.
And you said you tested on Android and iOS and it didn't work?
Correct.
Yeah, let me look into it because I'm pretty sure I fixed it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I fixed everything on custom topics. Like it was all working images, all the problems, Android and iOS.
What build are you on, Todd?
14.
Yeah, same one.
And you were able to add a custom topic with the image and it just worked, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to say I'm going to see what could possibly be the scenario where it would fail. I'll do some digging into that.
All right. Well, maybe we should wait. Oh yeah, I remember. I have a screen recording. It's coming back to me. It's been a busy few days. The navigation is hard. I got distracted. I was in a meeting. I was trying not to be rude and listen in the meeting, but wanted to test at the same time. But it seemed like the navigation was off after actually it was after an on-point. I'm looking at the screen recording right now. Danny, when you downloaded this latest version, did you go through onboarding?
I did.
Okay. Everything okay at that point?
Yeah, let me make sure I'm not glossing over something. But yeah, contact, circle of trust, boom, boom, boom. Barbie slides. No cool kid screen, but that's normal for me. Right into start the convo. Someone named Karen. I hit maybe later, and I was dropped in the lobby.
Okay. Where that would be where you expect, right?
What's that?
That's where you expect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching my screen record from Friday. I remember thinking there's a lot here to address, and I'll deal with this later. And then I forgot because this weekend was really hectic. I mean, mostly all good. Like we're getting so much activity right now in the app. It's really incredible.
It is.
So I might not sound like I'm enthusiastic. Everyone's really enthusiastic. We get really, really great feedback. And not just that, we're getting like tons of retention engagement that is unsolicited, unprovoked. Everyone is just organically jumping in on stuff, coming back for more. And usually weekends are slow, but not this weekend. So that's really good. But yeah, okay. I'm going through the screen recording, trying to remember the various things. Oh yeah, what is that? I guess I'll just start over from scratch with this phone. Oh yeah, and then this thing popped up at a weird place. Did you get the first favorite?
No,
flow? You did not?
no.
I got it unexpectedly fast. It means off today. It's a holiday. But yeah, he was supposed to set it at minimum 5 minutes. And I'm at 2 minutes, 1 second. So I'll have to ask him about that. Among other things. It was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I was just like, okay, I'll deal with this later. Okay, well let's continue. So Ismail, are you going to look into? There's a couple little things there. What tell me what you have. 1 sec on it. Tell me what you have on your plate right now, Ismail.
Yeah, so few things. So let's see here. In this branch, I don't know if some of it made it into the build or not. It's just because I have a lot of branches in, but I know I have, when you leave a chat, you didn't send a message, it will tell you, hey, do you want to leave, or do you want to send it first? Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind me about that.
So if you have something composing and you never send it, and you
Yeah.
leave the chat, you'll get an alert.
Right. Chantel ran into that Friday. I actually had 3 different people on Friday mistakenly think they created a topic, but they just forgot to hit send or didn't
Mhm.
realize they hit send. So yeah. So that's
It's working
are there any
properly.
issues with that? It's still, not in the app store yet, but
Yeah. Okay. So there, and then that being said, I also worked on the send inside circles and send outside circles. Remember that?
yep, that's right.
So where I had it initially had a bit of a flaw, where I realized it when I did more testing, and I fixed it now. I changed the approach a little bit. It's much better. So that's what I've been doing for the past, throughout this whole meeting. Honestly, I was trying to fix that. But I think I've gotten to a stable solution.
Okay, let's stay on that one before you move on, because that reminded me that we have the share outside circles. That link is we never really settled on what we should do. Jerry, is there a way to deep link to the user profile? If let's say I share a user profile, it ends up being an invite link. After they accept the invite, they end up, I guess they'd have to go through that flow where they enter their phone number, right?
Right. I think
Okay.
it's where you're going, yeah. And that's kind
I
of
think
what
we did talk about this, no? With Amin.
We did, but we just never settled on anything. We were talking about maybe having like a landing page for that user's profile. Actually, we should have a landing. Chantel, maybe you could help us out with this landing page. So, okay, so if I share a user's profile, in fact, Ismail, could you share your screen real quick and show us the thing where you can share inside circles, outside circles? I know it's pretty straightforward, but just so we have a visual.
Also, we might want to look at the wording, because I just realized that I'm using a bigger phone. If you have a small phone, I don't know how that's going to wrap.
The sentence doesn't fit on one line.
Well, it does for barely on my iPhone 15. So you can imagine if it's a bit smaller, it would look not as nice. I'll show you what I mean now, but here's my simulator.
Okay. Do you have it?
Go to a profile, and if you go here, you see how it's like almost filling the whole screen.
True. Can you make that text dynamically sizing? We do that somewhere else.
Oh, for the font, you mean? Like this whole menu?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also these two look exactly the same. I don't know, maybe we can find out maybe
You know what?
Share inside circle or share outside instead of without the profile.
I already have a design from a long time ago where I had addressed this because I had like a different share symbol as it to kind of help define it a little bit more.
Yeah,
Like,
true. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. For now we could always put the parentheses underneath. So like share profile and then inside circles right underneath it. And like maybe just the font.
Yeah, I'll see how that looks.
Okay.
But yeah, this is how it would look basically for now.
Yeah, but leave it here. So Chantel, let's work up. Will you do a landing page where, okay, we have the one where you get invited to a chat and it's like somebody, so-and-so invited you to chat and the button says, let me in. Okay, so this would be similar. It would say, Chantel shared a user profile with you and then maybe like their name and their avatar and maybe their bio, like a very basic card, like a share card for a person's profile. But that would be an actual landing page. And then the button would be like next or something like that. We can start with that. And from there, then we have the next screen, Jerry, already, right? Where it's like, that's where you enter your phone number.
Yeah, like when you click next. Yep.
Yeah. And we can just recycle that one because it says, so it'll say like, so Chantel gets credit for the invite.
Okay, so if I'm understanding This is if someone shares another person's profile in a group chat, and a person who doesn't have circles gets a text that
Right.
says,
If you hit the button on top, it would send it in Circles group chat. If you hit the
Right.
button below, yeah, it would text.
okay, got it. So do I need to get one of the text or just
Not the
what the
text
landing page looks like?
necessarily. The landing page.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll have like a profile card, person's profile card, and it'll say Chantel wants to share this person with you, and then next. And share
Okay.
it with you, share with you in Circles or get circle, and we'll start with the basics, and then we'll like alter it from there. And then while you're at it, do one that's nearly identical, but if someone were sharing a place, and then another one if they were sharing like a movie, show, book, podcast, etc.
Okay. So
Well-
any way of sharing content, essentially.
Yeah, any profile.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
Got
great. Awesome. Okay. Okay, thanks. So then, was there anything more here? Ismail? You'll try putting the words in the parentheses underneath the header there. The button.
Yeah, we'll see how that looks. And
Actually, Chantel did have a different. She reminded me there is two different icons. One's like sharing outside, and one's sharing inside. So, Chantel, if you could send that updated, like one of the, I can't remember which one we used for which, but send that to Ismail.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Ismail.
all right, now I'll just wait for that design and I'll implement it.
Cool.
But as far as it goes now, it should look like this when you click inside. It will pre-populate this, and I would need to talk to me about something. There's a new message flow, and then there's like just a share profile where it doesn't have this basically.
Right.
Which I don't know if it makes a difference, but that one, when I did it, I had a lot of problems with it. So that's why I needed to switch to the new message, which like for the other one, you would see it, for example, in the chat, where like there's for example, if you're in a profile and you navigate from a profile to here, there's cache problems all over. Where I use this, none of those existed. So
this is
you kind of
reliable.
have to use this at the time.
Yeah. So this is reliable.
Yeah, it's much more reliable than using the other one. Even the other one's a little cleaner because it has less things and it doesn't allow you to like add or remove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
the share button is one, because what happens if you tap the share button? Like,
I mean, it'll just open this honestly, and
what happens if you try and share entertainment?
like share entertainment. Let's see what happens. I can just do this. I think it'll just replace it. Yeah.
Okay,
So like,
so that's not the worst thing ever.
just get rid of it. Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, we have everything. Like it's pretty. I think we did. It's pretty safe to use this. It's not like it has risks. It's just the other one's a little cleaner visually, but it's not. It's just. Yeah, like I said, it's not the end of the world. We can use this. It's fine. There was a lot of problems where you're using that one, like a big difference.
Okay.
Like if I was to use that one, it's gonna need quite a bit of work, and I mean work on a lot of this, so that's why I was gonna ask him why that's happening, because I don't feel like going through the code because that screen is pretty complex. So if he knew, but then this one, after looking at the code, I like this one will work, and it did. So I was like, I'll just stick with this for now until is back, and if there's a simple solution for the other one, we'll implement it. If not, we'll just stick with this.
Okay. Yeah. Good call. Better.
Yeah. So that being said, I also worked on the red piggy bank indicator here.
Okay, cool.
And I tested it through query and through subscription, and it's working fine. Now that one was actually a lot trickier than I thought. I ended up spending a lot more time because. So here's the thing: you have the async storage, and that stores it on your phone, but that's not reactive. So what that means is when I click on it and I set it to false, it's not gonna reflect here that unless you close the app and reopen it or refresh this whole screen. So I had to I added a state, which the state was reactive, but then that had a limitation because you can't set it outside. For example, the red dot is here, but when I get the level up, that's inside a routing screen. It's a whole different screen. And Then I had to change it again and use a global state with the asynchronous. So what the global state is, the global state will keep the screen always up to date, reflecting the most recent thing, where the asynchronous will save that when you're offline and you reopen the app.
Okay.
Because a state always restarts when you close and open the app. The asynchronous will hold on to that value, so whether there is a red dot or not. And then the recoil global state, it makes the screen reactive where you see the dot or you don't see it at the right time. So
You're making me think of something I didn't even think of. It's not big, but like tap on the level 2. Does it, if being global, does the red dot appear here on the piggy bank?
no, not this one, just this one right here.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
If
You
you,
can
if
probably add it there.
I feel like we might as well.
Yeah. Add it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, after I have it down now, I actually created a global hook where, because I feel like this could be something we want to use in the future, I made it where it's like reusable. So like
Excellent. So it
we
can be
can
used on
use,
any asset.
yeah, like
That's-
we can basically, you can think of it as asynchronous storage but reactive.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So I had spent a little bit of time like
would it be able
engineering
to
that
have
to get it to work properly. Huh?
okay? Would it be able to have a number in it?
You can theoretically. It'll require a little extra work, but it can have a number in it.
I'm thinking maybe, and this is not, doesn't have to be on the first draft, but I was thinking maybe a 1, and that not ever necessarily go to a 2 or a 3 or a 4, but maybe just a 1 would be more.
Just so that can catch their attention that there's something here.
Yeah,
I see what
exactly.
you mean. Yeah, having a one there, hard-coded one is
It would just be hard coded, yeah.
that should be easy. Yeah.
Okay, I think that'd probably be a little more engaged, higher engagement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then later we can have it increment, then you click on it, it zeroes out basically.
Right, it just goes away.
Yeah. I'll see. I'll add a 1 for sure. That shouldn't be bad at all. But making it reactive, maybe that's also not too bad. But it will require me bugging Jerry a little bit, having him sending me through a few subscriptions.
Okay, at the moment, just having a 1 and then having is totally sufficient.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, as the logic there is done, so that should be part of the next build.
Okay.
What else? Oh yeah. So now I need to look at those, and that was the last thing pending. But now that we have those custom topics, I need to look into those, because after that I was I start on the fun stuff.
Yeah, the reply and thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone keeps asking about that.
I was actually just about to ask you about editing a message after you sent it.
That'd be nice too.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know what? I thought of that too. I was thinking maybe that one could be a little bit easier to implement than reply, and it does have a lot of value. But then again, because like what I don't know, that's just me. I like to do the easier things first if we're gonna do them right after each other. Because if you get because if you have the hard one and then you build off the hard, if the hard one has any mistakes, the easy one you like is it related to that or is it not worth the easy one? You can just get it out of the way and it's stable, and then you start building the hard one on top of it. It'll be easier to like, oh, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's the new logic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I do like that idea of editing too. Also, let's have one more. This doesn't have to all happen together, but if we're in the area of long pressing and editing a message or replying in thread, I think it would be a nice to have as one more option to move the message to a topic, because still once in a while I see people accidentally replying like in a main chat to a topic message, and I'm sure if like anybody in the chat recognized it, they'd be like, oh, let me just move this over to the topic. It'd be very nice to have. I'm curious what
that one sounds a little maybe a delete instead of like, and then they can resend it.
I think a move button logic wouldn't I mean, there's limitations, obviously, I understand on the front end, but if we had like a long press that revealed an edit button, which we're kind of talking about, and then if it also included a move button, the logic would be on the back end, basically. It would effectively only be back end logic. If you hit move and then it provided you
Well, you
like
have to have where you want to move it because it could be to
right.
any topic.
We do technically have that on the screen. All the topics are there. So if we hit move and then you tapped one of the topics at the top of the screen, we could get a
But
little
how-
confirmation.
Yeah, but how will the user know they need to tap on the
Yeah,
top
it would
and
have to
scroll?
be, there'd have to be an instruction.
To
Yeah.
highlight them.
I mean, that part's all front end work.
Yeah.
But perhaps the heavier lifting is on the back end. I don't know.
I mean, all this is going to require a lot of, like, for example, reply is going to be heavy front and back end, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Edit would be, yeah, I mean, edit would require also both. I mean, maybe we add edit, delete, like, and then we look at reply, or do you want to start with reply? And I feel like that one would probably be the very last, because that one is going to be,
Yeah.
it's going to need a lot. We guys still need to design it and see how it's like, how you're going to tell the user that this is how this works. So it's
True.
definitely not going to be like,
True.
clear.
Yeah. I was envisioning something simple of when it says move, it say select a topic above to move this message to, just like a modal, like so something very and then there have to be some confirmation that you did it too. But yeah. So yeah, let's start with the easiest, which is, what do you think, is editing?
I think edit and delete maybe is where we want to start off with, and then we go to reply.
Okay.
Because I feel like we do need delete too. Like a lot of people have it, or do we not want to have delete?
Yeah. Well, yeah, why not?
Okay.
Or edit. I mean, like, edit is kind of like delete because like you could edit it.
Yeah. I mean, we could start off with edit. We don't have to add them both at the same time. And the thing is, with edit, we are not gonna, like, I know some companies have it where you see the old message and the new message. Maybe at first we just kind of do like Slack, where we'll just say edit it, and then you just see like, well, we don't have that little text that says delivered, but if we did, or let me see how Slack works.
It would be nice. It does say edited after you edit.
Oh, never mind. It's not at the bottom. It'll just be like in gray. And yeah, we can do like Slack, where just say edited, and that's pretty much it with the gray text.
That's easy. It's user friendly.
Yeah. So on the backend side, they will need two things where it's, first of all, well, they have to allow us to edit. It's going to be a new mutation. And then second of all, we're going to need a new flag. It's called edited, where it'll be labeled as edited if it was. This one would be, but we do need the designs on how we edit these. Like so we're probably going to get rid of the copy.
No, copies. We definitely want copy.
No. What I mean by get rid of it is get rid of it's not going to be floating anymore. We're probably going to have a drawer now.
Oh, okay.
Because
the way I envisioned it was just they were side by side floating, like, so copy and next to it would be edit.
Well, that's not the design we have on Figma. Chantel sent me a design for reply, and it basically had everything in a drawer at the bottom after your long press.
Can I see that?
Let me find that. Give me a second.
While we were looking, I had a question that came up when we were looking at Piggy Bank. And Jerry and Ian, did you get my message a couple days ago? Somebody had ordered 4 pop sockets. Was that?
Yeah. Ian, did you check that?
I didn't even see that message.
I didn't look. I just sent it to Jerry because I thought maybe it was a back end error, but
no, this would be with the new web portal, if anything.
I'm logging in right now to see if I can even see.
Yeah, what was their name? Let's see. Where's my Slack? Oh, here it is. Okay, you sent me. What date was it?
I see. We're talking about pop sockets.
Yeah, Lisa Romo.
I see Lisa Roma ordered. Oh, she does have 2.
I had 4, right, Jerry, in my
Yeah,
report.
this looks like it could be the report, but why is it reporting 2?
Yeah, in the actual in our order list, I only see 2.
Did she order one of each variety?
No. I think they're the same. Let me double check.
2 identical? Because isn't that, I thought the web store was designed to prevent multiple.
It should, right? I mean, currently it shouldn't even allow you to do more than one in the same level.
Unless you bought them, right?
She didn't pay for anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a bug. Something happened.
Okay. I wanted to point that out before I forget. So can you look into that? Whoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass this out over to the guys right now.
Okay. Thank you. There may be another one that happened yesterday. Take a look again. Yesterday I saw some duplicate, but it might have been intentional. But it looked like there may have been 2 from the same reward level.
Yeah, it's worth noting that these 2 that I'm looking at right now from Lisa Romo, they happened within 3 seconds of each other.
Interesting.
So it looks like it was probably something kind of automatic, like she was capable of just hitting a submit button multiple times.
Or was there a quantity she could increase?
I mean, I don't believe so. I don't think we have anything like that on that type of reward. It's not like an item that you can choose details for. There are certain items that have that type of thing, but that's not supposed to be one.
It's the pop socket. I don't know if we have any like special configuration applied to the pop socket because it's like the same item but a different variant.
Yeah, we do have special. We have special logic for different types of items. Like, yeah, I think that one falls under the same as I don't know, one of the other ones that we have. It has special logic though to handle not needing a quantity. This is interesting, actually. This morning, I have to figure this out now. Somebody ordered a Sircles sweatsuit.
I saw that.
I hope we have it.
We do. I'm pretty sure.
Remember, we were out of a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
She ordered it in blue though, and I think that white was the one that we were out of.
Yeah.
So probably be okay there. I don't see any duplicate orders though, other than that one.
How did we run out? Let's not talk about that right now. But we're going to come in later. So are you in today, Ian?
No. I won't be back in until Wednesday.
All right. Well, let's chat.
I'm working all day though. I'll be free.
Okay. Okay. So let's shift gears back. So just take a look, investigate while we're doing all this, and then.
Yeah, I passed it off to have them look at it.
Okay. And yeah, and I was looking at that design, and it looks good. So is this easier than the other way I was suggesting with the button?
Yeah, I would, because the screen it's floating, so having it like all of them be at a certain it'll be a little tricky, and we're gonna have like copy, edit, maybe delete, reply, so it's gonna be a big list, and maybe move.
I would say copy should say copy text. This is minor, but just to be more clear. So and even probably copy link should be an option too, because it could be a link.
Yeah, I mean, on iMessage it just says copy for regular stuff.
On Slack it says copy link.
For a link it does say copy link. I'm not sure.
In Slack it does.
Oh, in Slack. Okay, yeah. Maybe if it's a link, that would, we can do a copy link, but it does say copy on. I'm just trying to find a link. I guess I don't send a lot of links. Oh, there we go.
Just a thought on that design, by the way. That's a pretty
just
ideal
copy on
situation.
iMessage, but we can be more specific. Who's speaking? Sorry.
Sorry, that was me. That design that's there. If the text is toward the bottom of the screen, like if it was the most recently sent message, we'd have to consider that, because that slider is going to go over the text of the message itself if it's at the very bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I know. I was already planning how I'm going to do that, because this one, is floating, and I had to use a lot of math to get it to be like, for example, when you go here, and I was just doing some mess like over here. If you're here and you long hold this, so I have to make sure it doesn't like it feels it's like it's halfway. Like I had to do a lot of math to get it to go up. Same thing if it's all the way up here. And to make sure it goes down a little bit. So there's a lot of math involved in all this. So I have to make sure now it goes up here. Like it can't be under. I have to add a new threshold because I can add a threshold at the bottom. So I have to update it to be the drawer. And it's going to keep updating the more things we add, which also kind of, if it's too big and if it's a long message, it could potentially cover it. So I don't know how we'll handle that. But
If it's too big, yeah, I know. I was gonna say that drawer could get larger if we.
That drawer could be up to here, and then you have like you're limited
why
to like the
maybe
space to display.
Long press on your emulator again on a message. So, like, see where it says copy? The way I was envisioning it, there'll be another gray box, and it said edit.
Like next to it?
Yeah, like you already coded it, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Because they just go side by side. You never have a problem, you know? We'd have edit, and then we'd have move.
I think that copy, let me see. I don't think it's like always in the same spot, is it? Let me see. I can't remember how I did it. I guess it is.
Yeah, no, it's always on below. Because we were worried it might be a problem on the bottom, but because
I think I changed the logic of it. I always kept it because like it used to pop up top and below, then I changed it.
Well, yeah, but because the input field on the bottom and the topic bar on the top disappear, it gives you the space.
Yeah. Just we can do that.
Because then you already have the architecture.
Like to add it to the side here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Would that look okay though?
I would think so. I mean, what do you guys think? You know, just where it says copy, and then there'll be another one that says edit, another one that says delete.
Yeah, if the math is already done, I don't see any problem with that. If it was just to the right of it, copy and then a little bit of space and then edit and then delete.
Yeah, and then we finally have one that says like move message to a topic or something. Or just
theoretically, we would eventually have what? Copy, move, edit,
reply.
delete, reply.
Yeah.
So there could be 5.
Delete. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll all fit. Copy, delete, move, edit, reply. We'll make it work.
So it depends on the font size.
Yeah. Looks like copy's not centered inside there. Couldn't notice it. Orbit's
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about that right now. But if we're going to do it, we might as well clean them up if we're going to do a couple more. So I would say go with that because it's already there.
Okay.
Do you want a Figma design or you just want to roll with it?
I guess just leave a bit of spacing here and just add another pill.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I don't think I need a Figma design for that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Got a corner.
Well, so start off on edit is the plan here.
Yeah. I mean, is it going to be a rabbit hole?
What do you mean by that? Like,
one of those things where it takes weeks because even though
it's gonna take some time. All of these are gonna take time. I'm gonna that's for sure. Yeah. None of these are easy. I'm just saying this is easier. It's by no means easy. Like it's gonna require a lot of back end and front end work. A lot, especially back end.
Yeah. Okay, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, like where does edit compare to reply and thread?
Front end, not as bad. Like on the front end side, well, I still didn't like. I guess when we hit edit, I guess we'll see this.
Yeah.
And this should be pre-populated with the existing message.
Yeah, true.
And then you edit it, right?
Yeah, and the button would say something different. Maybe it's an arrow.
Yeah, I don't think we need the camera to be in here though.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Just a thought on the edit. One of the bugs that, I assume it's a bug you guys know about. You can't scroll up if you write like a brick of text. There's no way to like scroll up and review your text after you've written it.
Yeah, you can if you copy and paste a bunch of it into the window, I noticed, but not if you are just
Just
typing
type it there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's really weird. But to that point, if you make a mistake in a long
Which I don't.
message, right, then you can't even edit it. Like even if with our edit function we're talking about building, you can't really edit it.
Yeah. Try what my theory is. I'm pretty sure if you copy paste a super long message into the input field, you can scroll in the input field. But if you type it out, you do not have the scroll ability. If you bring up your keyboard, you might.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if it'll make a difference. But yeah, try scrolling. Yeah, see how you can scroll? This is what you're
Yeah.
talking about, right, Ian?
Yeah,
You can kind of scroll, I guess, but it does
Actually,
have
yeah,
its
you don't.
limitations.
You can't.
So-
Yeah, you can't get to the top. But at least
that's
you
what
can
I was
see.
just experiencing.
But at least you can see the top. But you're saying, Ian, you can't even scroll at all, right?
In situations where I didn't copy paste, correct, I can't scroll up at all. But even in situations where I do copy paste, I do have to kind of like hold the bar down to be able to reveal the top,
Right.
and then it bounces back when I let go.
Yeah, that would be nice to clean up.
Yeah, I can look more into that. We'll see. That one's gonna be a little tricky because we are kind of we're kind of limited with React Native here, in terms of how these functionalities work.
I remember
So-
you mentioned that a while back. That's why I never brought it up, because I knew it wasn't just something we had a lot of control over.
Yeah, so I can give it another. I can give it another look, but yeah, again, we would have to kind of prioritize what we want to do first.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one easy solution would be somehow get it to scroll. If you just try typing a long message, maybe start over. Like, yeah, do a new one now.
So I'm just gonna retype it and then just do enter, 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 type, enter, 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 enter. Hit the keyboard up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't scroll.
yeah. Maybe that could at least be enabled.
Yeah, I'll see why that is the case, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be large enough in the first place to trigger the scroll bar.
Yeah.
Could we define a maximum height on that box? Because it seems like what's happening is the text box is just going up infinitely high behind the topics. Whereas if it had a maximum height that was designated, then it probably would automatically introduce the scroll bar.
Well, true. True. But also, yeah, it's going to be different from device to device, but I guess we can add a maximum, a general maximum. That could potentially
Right. I
be
think that
related.
if I'm not mistaken, even on like iOS, if I write a message out that's really long, there's a maximum height there. Yeah, it maxes out right at the top of the screen. And of course that is of course reactive to the screen size, which is a bigger challenge for us.
Well, yeah, because they build the hardware and the software.
Of course, yeah. I mean, they have the same advantages of a web browser, effectively.
And
but
what's interesting is, iMessage was notorious for up until just a couple months ago. Like, you could not get to the top of the message properly, because I send long messages a lot for like my Airbnb guests. I copy paste, and it's such a pain to it's finally now more scrollable and whatnot, but they just finally solved that. So I'm worried that if it took them that long, what are our chances?
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't know. I don't know as much about obviously React Native works, but is there a way for you to define the max height on the screen load? Because theoretically, what the size of the screen is once it loads, and then you could derive from there what the individual person's max height is.
Yeah, potentially we can, which I think might be always the same height. Well, No, this also can defer because of this island we have here. So there's gonna be a few things, like having the screen height is one thing, but you also have to subtract the height of the topic selector, which that would be a little tricky because on Android and iOS it's different, and even iOS from phone to phone is different depending if it has, you know, the notch or the island or nothing. But yeah, I mean it's doable. It will require some work though.
Cool. I think, John, if you wouldn't disagree, if we're going to introduce an edit function, it would seem to me that we would probably want to tackle this problem first, because that would be pretty frustrating for users to hit edit to identify that they can't actually edit the component they want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is no edit yet, but you mean
Yeah, understood. Meaning, like, I was thinking we tackle this scroll issue and then go to edits.
yeah. Okay. Sure. Well, depending. I don't want you to spend days on this, but you know, if
Yeah.
you find a fairly easy solution, Ismail, to
Mhm.
be able to just this part, the scroll that doesn't exist.
Mhm. Yeah, I can look into that.
Okay. But yeah, then we can move on to the other one.
Okay, so my schedule looks like topics, custom topic problems with the profile, the scroll, and then edit. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Then let's continue. So thank you. And Wells, is Wells here? Yeah. Hey, Wells, can we get your update, please? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on, Wells. Sorry, hold that thought. I put Amit on. Amit, you had a question?
Yes, yes, yeah. So I was search regarding Susi. So I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Page. So let's go it. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Jerry Ian. So see here, Susi. First I did place details. Now it is saying not found. Next, what I did query. Query it is Susi place name and address. So we are getting it with the different place ID. Here it is.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I was thinking, that we'd have to go ahead and update that place ID while we're at it.
Now here it is a problem. We will update with this place ID. So are you in QA app? Can you please try to search Susi?
Wait,
And
You want
say-
us to search it on Google?
No, I want to search inside our app, not in Google.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, it will return you the updated one. Currently, it will return you. Google will return you the updated one, and it when you
And
click
this is in the live database?
yes. So when our this code is not deployed, but still, if you will search now, you will get this new one, UMICC. When you click it on, it will create in our database with the new ID. This new ID. So in that case, if you will update the old with the new ID, will it not be a problem?
wait, hold on. Updating the old with the new ID.
Yes.
You're saying that what's going to happen is we'll search for it, and once we click on it, that's when the update occurs?
No, so go to first QA app and search about UMICC.
Are you in QA, Jerry? I'm not.
I'm installing it right now.
Okay. I noticed something too, John. I don't know if you knew about this, but when I searched Umasushi in live just now, just to see if I could get it to come up, I can't scroll very far. If I tap, so like if you just go to search for a business, like if I just hit the search in the bottom left and go to places, and then I search Umasushi. Let's see, UMA sushi. I get a good number of results, probably like 10 results or so. But my keyboard stays up by default. And the only way to get my keyboard to go away is I just happen to know that if I click on the word search results or to the right of it, that's like a non-tappable area for any action. So the keyboard goes away and then I can view my results.
Yeah.
But while the keyboard is still up, I can't scroll that list. It makes it look.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we have code that, I mean, developed that will allow us to swipe down on iOS. On Android, they have a button to drop their keyboard, so it's not an issue. But on iOS, we're used to being able to swipe down on it. I can let.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, actually, what will you let Amin know? Take a screenshot and like draw an arrow. He'll know what you're talking about and say, "Can you make the keyboard swipeable out of the way after a search?"
Okay. Is that intuitive that you would need to swipe that on iOS? That doesn't really feel intuitive to me. What would feel intuitive is if there was
I bet you do it all the time.
There should be
a
done button to dismiss the keyboard.
But done, where would that go?
It goes on the keyboard. Like it doesn't trigger an action, it just hides the keyboard.
Right now, it's a search button, which kind of makes sense.
Okay. So let me.
And it's blue, so it does stick out. And also,
oh, I see. Okay.
I mean, it's work. If you're doing iMessage, let's say, and you want your keyboard out of the way, you instinctively swipe down. I'm sure you've done it a million times.
Let's see.
You do.
Yeah. Now, I didn't instinctively do that, but I did swipe the opposite direction. I did swipe up, meaning like I expected the list to scroll upwards behind the word search results. You know what I mean?
After that, you might swipe down.
So even if that action hid the keyboard, that would be sufficient.
Yeah. You could
so
ask
a
them,
swipe in either direction.
Yeah. You could ask them if that's reasonably easy. I don't want him to spend too much time on that part of it.
Sure. I'll just ask the question first instead of suggesting an action.
Well, I mean, for sure, swiping down, because he already has coded that, and we use it in other places. We use it in the chat, for instance, in our chat.
And you said send this to Amin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So can I continue?
Yes, please.
So someone already searched OMSCC on QA. So Jerry, can you see here? This is the new one, which when someone search in the app.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So see here, it is updated address. Now we already have this old one, 95355. This one where it is AVE. AVE, no? See here. This was already. Yep.
The addresses are.
If you will say hey 16687, if I will update now, since someone click on this business and like we are doing check note font, in that case we will update the Google ID. 2 will be the same Google ID here. In that case.
Well, that's why I'm saying update in the search. So whenever we go and we refresh the Google ID. Oh wait, oh I think I'm starting to get it. I think I'm starting to see what you're saying. That we're running into. Well, let's be proactive. Okay, let's be proactive. Let's go and for all the Google updates, all the not founds, we got to run through them one by one. And then if we go by the logic, we try to search for that place with the address. If we get with a different Google ID, update it script. But what we need to get on top of after is making sure we have a refresh script that we can be proactive with, that we can run when Google marks that place ID as expired, and then we can go and find out the new place ID and update it before somebody searches it and creates a duplicate.
What about someone already created it?
We can we should be able to identify them, right?
So what we can do in that case? Suppose here for this case, we are coming here with the old ID. The old ID we did not find it. I went with the search. I found the new ID. So if in that case, what we will do? In that case, we will go in our database and check that with this new ID is present or not.
Yep, and if so, let's merge the records. We can merge the record where the old key takes priority, like move all the favorites, all the shares, all the trust tips, move all that over and consolidate.
Yeah. then so we will do in all these steps inside the profile details API, or we will do through a script. I don't think if you will do with the profile details API will be heavy.
Well, at first we need a script. We have to do our cleanup
Hmm.
for all these places. We have to do at least a one-time cleanup. But Google is giving us a date that we can go check. Like Google is giving us basically a date that they guarantee that place ID will be valid until.
Mm. They are giving expiry date.
Correct. You have the expiry. And we know that basically at that expiry date, we need to be checking for a new place ID. We could try. That's where Google's like, oh, use the refresh token. Do you see that logic where they're talking about the refresh token or refresh for the place ID?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. So how we will merge the favorite one, that thing when talk to you? Then can you please give in those script?
Wait, you're wondering how do we merge it?
No, I'm not wondering. So once we get it, I found the new profile key using the new Google ID. So in that case, we need to merge that new profile key with the old profile key, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. In that case, I need to go to check all the favorites here, everything with the new profile. We need to replace with that old profile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. I will do that. Yep. It's okay. I will do that.
Okay.
So this should be part of script, not the details logic.
All right.
Jerry?
What's up?
So this should be part of a script, not the profile details API.
I think there's going to have to be some continuing logic that we do on the search.
Hmm.
It's going to be both. We have to clean up what we've done already with the one-time, but then we still need changes to the profile API to make sure that we don't have a stale place ID based on a Google expiry date.
So their logic. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Thanks. What's up, Ismail?
So for the asynchronous update, is that safe to merge in? Did the QA team do enough testing? Do we feel good about?
Let's do a little more today. I don't think we did enough yet.
Okay.
I did do a little bit Friday. And I can't remember if that was one of the things I saw a problem with. I just don't remember now. There's a minor thing. I don't know if this is even something you can control. Maybe it's our library. Once you play a video, if you press the play button, so like you play it to the end, then the pause button turns back into a play button, but it doesn't play again from the beginning. It's kind of annoying. Like you have to basically rewind it.
That is from the library, but I'll see if there's a way to like make it restart. But that has nothing to do with asynchronous upload, yeah.
I know. But as far as just that's true. It won't hurt anything. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see if the library does that.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, because that's getting annoying. Keep maintaining that branch because they have to keep it up with all the new code always. So.
Okay, let's make it a top priority then. So Todd and Chantel, if you guys could test as thoroughly as possible uploading videos and by sharing them into chats, and then also images, and leaving. So like you would press send and the little status bar shows up, and then you leave and come back. Like make sure it's showing up for you and the recipient. Make sure that the lobby's updating and all the cache is updating and stuff. Have you guys tested that a lot?
Not a lot, it's a little bit, but I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't test any of with the status bar going and then leaving and trying to go back. I didn't test that.
Okay, let's test that out. You can test with me too. I'm on John test phone in that build,
Okay.
and then Danny's in that build too. I think it might be his main account. Is that your main account, Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all four of us, John test phone, Danny's main account, and then you guys, and let's do that over the next 30 minutes to an hour here, and we can give Ismail the green light to merge it.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, cool. Was there anything else on that, Ismail?
No, I just needed to know if it works or not.
Okay, we'll get that report to you. Okay, so then, all right, let's go to Wells. So, Wells.
Okay, yeah. Before we go to the podcast audio playing in background, that is the main feature, the main issue. I want to bring other smaller updates that are cool as well. So the both analytics PR, both for the podcast episode play, and also for the report button for when you report someone and the kind of things to see the information, they are both approved and merged. And also, I am now opening APR for some updates on the CL. If you remember, John, on the my recent favorites or my recent check-ins, there was no CL button there, so I put it there. And I'm also putting some analytics in the CL. So I will be opening these two PRs regarding the features and the analytics for the CL pretty soon. And regarding the audio playing in background, I think I found a pretty good lead on what we actually need. But remember that I couldn't test the app in my actual device, my real device. I think my provisioning profile is not configured properly. Don't know exactly why, but when I go on the Xcode to actually change the settings that we need for the app to actually have this permission of running in the background and doing the stuff, I cannot change that, so it doesn't appear for me. But I did open a branch with some testing code regarding stuff that I found, and I found really interesting documentations. I did send a message to both Amin and Ismail today, because I think Amin is going to be the one that is going to be helping the most in that part. But since Amin is out, I actually created a group chat with them both for sharing this docs that I found, and also sharing the draft PR with this branch that contains the code for actually testing this background audio play once the Xcode configuration is done, and we can actually have that enabled to test that out.
Okay, so are you saying you will be able to test it on a physical device?
Yeah, I'm saying I think I found the right lead, but I cannot test it on my physical device because my provisioning profile is apparently not working. So I think either Ismail or Amin would be capable of continuing working on that and testing on their devices and that kind of thing. Also, if perhaps we can find some time to actually get my provisioning profile working so I can test it on my real device, also will be really good, because then it wouldn't be a blocker.
Yeah, that would be good. So are you saying that you've done the work, but you need one of them to test it?
Is no, almost that. It's that, and there's still more working to be done also. So it's not it's not done in progress. Yeah, it's halfway through.
Okay, no problem. And then what else?
Yeah, and then that's it. Then there's other updates on the CO and on the other stuff. And then I believe once I finish this CO and analytics and I open the PR for that, I think I can't think on any other features to work on right now. So
what about the search results not showing up?
Oh yeah, that's true. You sent me a message right today earlier. Yeah. We'll look into that. Didn't.
I figured it was just maybe the wrong query. You're call. Maybe.
Yeah, you were doing a search on the add another friend, right? And there were no names showing up.
No result.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I forgot about it. We'll look into it also. Let me
okay. I would say that would probably be the highest priority because it's a major defect. Whereas the other ones would be nice to improve on.
Yeah.
This is a defect that we need to clear up. Okay.
And is that like so you didn't get search at all? Like all the tests you did, you typed and there were no results.
Right. Was it? Let me go back to our messages. Was it in any pill, or was it just one of the pills filters? Let's see.
What's your user?
Trying
Do
to add a.
you remember?
Oh yeah, this is after I favored. There are no pills. Yeah, I'll send it to you in Slack. One sec.
Just to clarify, what version am I testing right now?
14.
Oh, okay. So that's in production then.
It points to production. Yeah, it's not in the App Store like live for download.
Right. Okay. Okay. Then I've been on it all weekend then. Okay.
Okay, cool. Any major defects? I remember I saw you and Todd had mentioned some things a couple days ago. I did want to bring that up too.
Yeah, that was when we were in the dev environment
Okay.
that we were having the issues with the custom topics.
And that's been resolved in this build?
Let me double check.
Okay.
No, that's all the same build, Chantel.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. It's dev. I mean, it's pointing to production, but it's not in not for the public. It's beta.
Okay. Okay. Let me try this now on my end.
Okay. So yeah, Wells, there are no filters in this view because it's the modal with the search bar, and it's just after you add a favorite. No results were showing up for names. Are you getting results?
So which screen are we talking exactly about? So it is the new share, right? It is the drawer when you go share with someone.
Yeah, the drawer you made where you have a scroll view
In
under.
there, I think we are searching for the users you are following.
Well, no, because I don't want that. I want to be able to search for anybody in the app.
Anybody in the app.
Yeah.
Let me see the query. Perhaps Jerry's here, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's see where else.
Using there.
Yeah, let me see where else we use that. So like if you hit the plus chat button, no, that one's not the right one because that also shows groups. Jerry, where would we have a search where I'm seeing maybe the edit circle of trust? That's probably where I would see just users, but not groups. Yeah.
Let's see. We want to see like all the users.
Yeah. So
wait, what about the spotlight screen? What's
that might be also an option. Let's see. I think the edit circle trust.
I think they might use the same query, but keep in mind that they do also include contacts. So we want to make sure we filter out contacts.
The one, yeah, that's where I would be afraid of the people search one. But the edit SOT, there's no contacts because you can't add a contact from here. Actually, might not be a bad idea to be able to do that because you can't in onboarding. But at the moment, you cannot. So, like, I typed in Mike when I edit SOT, and then we show mics that have images first. I think first we would show any of my friends named Mike, but I probably already have them. I only know one who's my SOT. So then I think we show users with images. Then we go to the users without images.
Okay, and also this listing of all the users in the app should be in the main list as well, right? In the one before you search.
What was that question?
Yeah, so when you enter the drawer, there is a list of users that you can go through, and perhaps you might want to have all the users in that listing as well, not only on the search.
Yeah, where it starts as default. Right.
I think let me see. Dang it, where's that? Yeah, so in there I'm using the same query that we use when you click like on the home screen. You click on the following, and then you have all those fields there. So I am currently looking for people you are following on that screen. So when the drawer pops up, the listing is for like users you're following, and the search as well. We'll search on the
I
following.
think, yeah, I think the default names of people you're following is probably a good the default, like when you first arrive there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's probably good. And then if I'm not satisfied with those selections, then I can go to the search bar and search anybody else in the app.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So I will look into the edit SOT search and work on that,
Okay.
since that's the main priority for now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So do you know where the query is? So the one for like when I go to edit my SOT and I use that search.
Yeah, I think I'm on that screen. You have like your SOT on the top, and the title says add your best friends, and then there's a search.
Yeah.
That one, right? That main one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, and Jerry, you mentioned that search on the SOT. It also brings contacts.
Yeah, but I think there's a filter. Well, no, I think the SOT only includes user.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no contacts in there.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't say that 100% because this test phone I'm on, I have not synced contacts. So maybe we should.
It has contacts for me in QA.
It does.
But
Okay.
we know the difference. We can filter them out.
Well, let me ask you this. What if we did allow that and then they got a text message or a group message or something like that? Might be a nice growth hack for us because that feature isn't used that much. You know, basically create an external user in a group chat.
I know. We may just want to limit. I don't know what we like. SMS is a sensitive topic. Like, sorry, I was chewing some food, but apparently I don't know who it is, but it seems like they're getting really strict with regulating automated SMSs. Like I just sent out save the date cards with the knot yesterday, and apparently like 2 weeks ago they like stripped down their SMS bulk sending because of just some weird changes with SMS. So I just want to make sure that
Who's they?
I do not know.
Carriers. I just had the same problem. Literally yesterday, I was working with my kennel. All of our automated text messages stopped working like on Thursday.
What?
And it turned out it was because these reminder texts that we send, which by the way are not automatic, we just copy and paste them and send them to people. It's like, reminder, your appointment is scheduled for this time. Make sure you read everything below and respond.
What?
And it's like about having their dog and whatever. But we had a section in there that literally was just all caps, and it said, it's important that you read and respond. It was at the very top of the message. I removed it, and then they started accepting it. And then there was another one where we had a bunch of asterisks to like highlight something. I removed that, and then they started accepting it too. So they're getting really picky.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. So, I mean, in our case, this isn't going to go to a million people. It's just like 1 or 2 people they might add as an external user.
Still, like Ian said, they're sending them out manually. He's not like this isn't even automated from his perspective. It's sent programmatically in the end.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're still subject to the same thing.
Yeah, ultimately, as long as the text doesn't appear spammy, which I understand the guidelines now. I spent like an hour on this yesterday. It should be fine. As long as it doesn't have like all caps and a bunch of asterisks and like appear like a spammy message, it should deliver.
When we sent the save the dates yesterday, we sent maybe 100 text messages out all through the knot, and like it chaos. Like we were pulling our head out yesterday. Like people weren't getting the SMS. People were getting it in a spam box. People were just flat out thinking it was spam. It was chaos. I have a lot of other complaints about the knot, but that was just yesterday.
Okay. What did it happen after like the first 20 or something? Like did the first 20 send no problem?
Well, I have no idea to tell like which ones send. Like their dashboard just shows like it was sent. But then I started having then aunts and uncles started calling my mom, like, "Oh, am I not invited to the wedding?" I'm like,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm like, I sent out the text and I'm like confirming their phone number. Like, oh, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just did this like 2 weeks ago.
Well, and that I don't know what their situation is. Maybe, they might be flagged for other reasons because that's a service, but we have it built. So I would love to leverage the network effect from it.
Yeah, we can give it a try. I just want to say that we want to monitor it because it could maybe hurt our sending reputation if we send.
Okay. True. Well, at least it's opt-in, like the user sees the person whose name,
I guess it's a similar thing with the not. Like, I have their phone number, but they never explicitly opted in. Like, like my aunt didn't opt in to receive this text message. I just sent one to her because I have her phone number.
Right.
It's a similar situation.
It is similar. Well, I'm wondering how it would even work with ours because this is now sharing a profile, and we don't really have a way to share a profile. I forget what I do. Actually, I think we do. I think it says, the text actually says, like, Wellington shared a movie with you and the name of the movie. I think we do that in the text message, right?
Not sure. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Go on that thought.
Well, if that's the case, we're already in a position to do it with, like, in this case where we could have our list return your contacts in addition to people in the app. And so it would create some external users in that case, which would be really beneficial to us. So I guess with that said, I'm open to use, let's test it. Let's use the query that we would use when you're building your circle of trust. Or it says add your best friends at the top there. And it's got a list of your contacts and people in the app. Like if I type the word Mike, if I have a Mike in my contacts and then there's also Mikes in the app, it'll be all of the above. And potentially SMS them. I don't know what it does in when you're editing SOT, because, like, what does that do? Does it send them an SMS? I don't know that we've actually tested that. That's something to test. Okay, so let's go ahead with let's go ahead with that list, Wells, and then we'll test it and see how it works.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Do you know why there was no name showing up in the first place? Oh, because it was just people I'm following. Is that why?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so then should be fairly easy. So, do you have any questions?
I'll go. I will look into the query there and update the search. So we'll do this more global search in there.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Very nice. Jerry, do you have anything to add on it?
When he sends the mutation to create the DM, we might have to do some. Well, maybe not. No, I think if he passes the user contact keys for the external users, it should handle all of that properly. Oh, we do. I think, which maybe we could bypass it. I'm not sure if we have our block in there where if you do a one-on-one, you can't do a one-on-one with an external user right now.
That is true. I wonder if that still holds true in this flow.
Well, there's the send separately button that would do that.
I know. I wonder if it would still hit that blocker, or like if it would work. I guess the blocker is like somewhere in the middle, so it would stop it. Yeah, true. We'll have to handle that too. So maybe the front end would say, I think we do already say something like there's a modal that says to message an external user have to have at least 2 people in your group chat, plus you know, including you or something like that.
Do we not allow send separately if we're trying to target a external?
Are you asking if we don't currently, or if we shouldn't in the future?
If we should in the future.
Well, I'm mixed. I'm torn because on the one hand, I want the maximum amount of network effect. On the other hand, I presume the reason GroupMe doesn't allow it is they probably had issues where they had a one-on-one, lot of one-on-one chats going with people, and GroupMe is a group app. So now they're supporting someone just texting, and that costs them money every time. And you know, I guess you have 1 million people doing it, it probably adds up, and it's like it's kind of
The thing I do see is once things get up to scale, we only have a finite number of Twilio numbers in our bank right now that we send, and like each chat has its own Twilio number. By then they'd probably want to be in the app, but I think we got like 20 numbers or something with Twilio. It's a pretty high number, but
it doesn't it the different groups can share it as long as there's not a doubled up person, as I understand.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so there could be 2 group chats sharing the same number we have in our pool, as long as nobody in those 2 group chats overlaps.
Yep.
So it's really more than 20 in that way. Like we can support way more than 20 group chats, in other words.
Yeah.
But that'll start getting reduced if we allowed a bunch of one-on-ones potentially.
Yeah, because
okay, well let's get it built and see what happens, and we'll modify it from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Gary, do you have some more updates for us?
I am working on the entertainment profile. It shouldn't be much work, but I'm working on the landing page for the entertainment and also for the user profile. The user profile I kind of almost got done.
Did you already get the design from Chantel, or what landing page you're talking about?
There's one from Chantel. Let me just show y'all what I got right now.
Okay.
Get this. All right. And let me kind of put on the phone view.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so we're using a similar design there. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. I mean, we would change the header, because like if I shared somebody with you, this maybe would say John shared a Sircles user profile with you or something like that. I'm gonna word that better, but
yeah, maybe we need to word it better. But yeah, I do see where you mean. Because
man, for a second there, I thought I was actually in John's circle of trust. How deceiving!
This is pulling from QA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Heartbreaking. By the way,
you're not in my circle of trust.
Real letdown. Real letdown.
Oh, sorry. I can fix that. You just need to unlock 2 more slots. Here, I'll take out Danny.
I'm gonna do anything. Take out Danny.
Well,
okay.
I like
sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Are any of these buttons interactable, or are they just all show?
Well, no, not right now. What we could do is we could have like clicking on various buttons. What they could do is like show the phone modal, but that's I don't have it where you can like click their shares, click their cares, click their favorites.
If this is all web, we could actually incorporate something pretty creative here, where if they click on friends or anything that would be a typical button, we could give them a little information window that very, very briefly, like 1 sentence, even like half a sentence, explains what the button does, and then gives them a link that's like, click here to, use this feature, and it still does the same thing as the next button down below.
Yeah, I like that.
What was that about useless feature?
Well, like let's say, for example, they click the piggy bank.
Yeah.
Because they're curious what it is. And it says, and they get a little pop-up that says like Sircles has rewards. You can get free stuff. Click here to join. Just like it doesn't necessarily have to explain the feature, but you could add some interactivity to this page that might be enticing.
That's true, yeah. I like that. Okay. Well, I like where it's going. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but I just need to kind of tell Jerry about this before I forget, because if I don't, or I will. When it comes to uploading photos, remember how we changed the logic for custom topics, Jerry? We made it a lot faster.
Yeah.
So that seems to be working, but in some cases, it seems like it's not. So what that means is it's great when it does work, but in some cases, when a photo is uploaded, it's when they click send, it's not reflecting in the custom topic.
So wait, when they upload a photo?
So you're creating a custom topic, you upload a photo,
Mhm.
then you click send.
Mm-hmm.
So the photo uploads successfully
Uh-huh.
because you were able to hit send, but once you do hit send, it's not showing in the custom topic as a profile.
Like there's no profile, like no topic image URL there?
I don't know how the backend is because this is happening. I mean, I don't know what the response is because Todd sent me this. It happened on his phone. It didn't happen with me. But what he said is he uploaded a photo, but it never showed when after he sent. It showed before he hit send, so we know it uploaded to Cloudinary successfully. But once he hit send, it wasn't there. So it created a custom topic as if there was no photo.
And this only happens, and this happens like
Mm.
consistently, or
You know what? I also this I mean I don't know how, he said well, Todd, this doesn't happen all the time, right? It just happens
No,
sometimes on iOS.
so it's been happening to me most of the time on iOS,
Most
but
of the time.
once in a while, I've been able to create a custom topic with a pic, no problem.
Mhm.
But then just recently in a recent group chat, I was created with Chantel and John test phone and Danny and another one of my test phones. I created a topic, or a custom topic, added the pic, and I called the topic, test with pic, and it shows up as a preview. When I upload the photo, it looks great. I hit send, and the image does not come through. It just shows a blank, image. It's not the image that I uploaded or I thought I uploaded.
And is this one happening with group chats maybe?
Maybe let me try an individual versus group, like a one-on-one versus a group. Let me test that. Get back in a minute.
I'm testing it too. It didn't work on group. That might be it. Because I was testing on one-on-one. Let me do some debugging there.
yeah, keep me posted.
Yeah, I'll let you know, Jared.
Also, let me just show this real quick. I gotta make sure this is the right picture right now that we're pulling. Maybe I have to pull it from TMDB. But for the entertainment profile, I figured we would word it a little different. Let me get the other profile. So this is a place profile for TechDU, where it says, "Oh, join me in Circles." That is not accurate. Let me fix that real quick. Entertainment place. Okay. So it's a favorite us on Circles. There we go. And for the entertainment profile, it's going to be very similar. It's just going to say, let me just get them looking right here. Right now I have it saying tap in on Circles, and it's a very similar page. And then I have for the bottom text, it says Circles users are raving about Mad Max. Add it to your favorites on Circles. I don't have any other copy text I can use. I also have to change these bottom buttons right here, but I kind of just started on this morning.
It's great. It's looking good. Just change the wording a little bit. So this will then take you to the next screen where you enter your phone number.
Yes.
Okay. While we're here, Ian or Jerry, can you tell me, did we get we launched our new version of this for Tech to You, right? Did we get downloads? Did we how many links were clicked and whatnot, and then any downloads from it?
Let me check.
Okay.
Place.
I was gonna say Jerry would have to answer that for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to grab. That we're getting. Let's see. My creative. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of people that click that link. But let's see what that turns into.
Okay.
No, nobody knew yet. Now wait, we did not deploy. We have this you're talking about this screen? This screen was not is not deployed yet. You said that you have changes that you wanted to make to the text.
I see.
Yeah, this screen is not in production.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead with that. Go ahead and deploy it, and then I can still make changes to it.
Okay.
Let me make sure I have a copy of that. I know you sent it to me already, but
Yeah, it's in a group message with all of us. You might have to scroll up. If not, let me just resend it right now. Make it easier.
that'd be great.
Another thing, Danny, did you address the issues we're having with Sentry right now?
Are you talking about the plan issues?
Yes.
No. Let me get into there. John, did
Yeah.
you end up emailing them back?
Yeah, in fact, we have a call with them in an hour, or I'll be on it.
Do you need
Might be
any
30
that
minutes.
call or
What was that?
Do you need any of us on that call, or is it just not technical at all? It's just
No. Well, do you want me to ask? I forget. Was there a question I need to ask?
not that I can recall.
Well, and did they take away our free trial? Is that part of the
Well,
situation?
yeah, because session replay is now in general availability, at least by their classification. They're starting to charge for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have some of my calls in 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, cost went up a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah, current monthly spend like $627 as opposed to it being
Free?
well, no, it was never free.
Huh. What was it before?
We were on a business plan on $89 a month, but then we had usage limits that we weren't hitting, and then we started hitting it, and it started running up.
And then they pulled us off completely. Right? Or wait, Jerry, you accessed the session replay this weekend.
No.
No?
Well, let me while we're here, look, let me show you what I see in Sentry.
Yeah.
We get 500 session replays for free. We use 34,000.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of data.
That's why they cut us off. So you've exceeded your on-demand budget during this date range.
Can we be more selective in what we're getting?
Yeah, we already kind of are. We limited it to higher end phones.
Interesting.
The ideal would be being able to turn it on and off where we want to, but we're not able to.
Well, that could be with a remote config.
Amin looked into it.
Or we can do a in either a remote config, or I can just do like an API endpoint. I don't know if looked into potentially getting that information from an API, but we could have this stuff configurable via an API.
Really?
Let's have Amin confirm it. Well, he's not here today, but maybe when he gets back tomorrow, we can have him confirm it and see if we could control it with an API.
Okay.
It would have to be like an API that's ran on the app startup. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But we could always find out.
Oh, I found the problem, Jerry. It was front end for the group.
Got it.
Yeah, I fixed that pop socket issue. He found a bug. It allowed multiple clicks.
Okay. Is the user expecting more than one?
No, probably not. She just tap real quick.
Okay. Cool.
But meantime, our Sentry is nothing. We don't have any replays. I mean, so we won't be able to really find out anything until we
I can at least fix that, like, for a pretty inexpensive, $100 and something a month.
I mean, call in 30 minutes. Maybe just hold it till then. I don't think it's going to bring anything in the past back.
Yeah. So, for $100 a month, we'll get 34,000.
Well, right now, let's see, it's $360 a month for 500, and then you kick it up to 50,000 replays, and it's 503 a month.
It's still a pretty good bargain for how much data we would be getting.
Yeah. What was the tier below 50,000?
Let's see. Does it really go from 10 to 50? No, there's a 25 in here. Let's see. 25,000 is 432.
Ooh. So for only like $100 more, we almost doubled that.
All right. So we'll want that.
$70 more.
Yeah. Seems like that's the direction we should go. We could always turn this down. Like, this isn't something that we have to, it's not a forever cost.
Yeah, the other limit we hit, our errors was 22,000 out of 100,000, so we're okay there. Performance units, I don't even know what that means, but we went way over. Have 1.5 million of those. We went to
Now, there was some units that we were tracking from like data validation issues, and I